Hello friends, Stacy Anfinson here with your TAR Report market update for February 2nd, 2023. All right, we're going to continue down the path of where home prices are going, where they've been. So you're going to have to pay attention to this. I know the readers and viewers of this will pay attention to it because it's a simple thing to understand, but it's fairly tough to pay attention to. So please do so. So the question we're going to ask is, what is the best way to measure house price change? Because really that's the only thing that homeowners care about. What can they sell it for based upon what they paid for it? There's two methodologies. Actually, it's the same methodology. It's just two different data sets. They're both repeat sales methodology, which means it's the same house. 100 Jones Street sold at January 1st of this year, and it sold January 1st a year ago. Compare those 2 points in time and the prices. Second one is using current list price with what the most recent sales price on that was. And we'll talk about that in terms of why that may be a better real-time indicator of what's going on with house prices. All right, so another thing to kind of get your attention in terms of you need to pay attention, I'm going to talk about two percentages. One is total percentage and the other is percent per year. Okay, why do I do that? Well, some people like to know what their total gain is, and then some people like to view it as like a CD or some type of investment that returns a percent per year thing. So I'm going to give you both. The picture, the chart trends are going to be the same. The numbers are going to be different. So anyway, here we go. First one, and this is repeat sales, two most recent sales of the same house. So these percentages that you see on the top part, total percentage gain if you sold your house in 2022 and previously purchased in the noted year. So you will observe from this that it is really important what year you bought your house in, because the percentage is different in every one of these years. So if you're going to use a metric like this, you need to know two different things. One is the sales price and the other one is the sales year. So just for a little quick math for us, if you purchased your house in 2012 and you resold it in 22, paid $200 for it, you sold it in 22, you made $282,000 with 141% gain. So that is what we call wealth creation. Now, if you get over here for percent per year change, if you purchased your house in 2021 for $500K and sold it for in 2022, you made $135K. I kept the math easy. That's just 27%. So these two percentage bars, actually these two percentage bars directly coming out of COVID and low interest rates, you can see historically from 2012 to 2017, the percent per year gain has been fairly similar. Now we're going to go into a data set that compares current list price with prior purchase price. So these are houses that are on the market. Actually, they are on the market as of the end of February. So if you purchased your house in 2021 for $500,000 and have it currently on the market, now remember, it's not sold, it's currently on the market, you're up $30,000. Look at how this percentage has gone down dramatically, and we've got a graph that kind of follows up with that coming up. And now here are our percent per year gain, once again comparing current list price with prior sales price. Now the decrease between 2020 and 2021, we're at 19% per year in 2020 and 8% per year based upon current list price and those prior purchases in 2021. All right, so now pay attention to these two lines, because what is important to me is what happens here at the end. So this red line is the total percentage change based upon current list price. The yellow line is the total percentage change based upon the two most closing prices. So notice the gap between the two lines in 2021. This is indicative of a house price decline. So we talked about the jaws of the alligator opening up, and here they are. It's amazing how they kind of track along each other. Remember, once again, red line is the percentage when total percentage change when you're comparing current list price with most recent sales price, and the yellow line is the comparison of the two most recent closing prices. So you can see the spread is getting pretty big in there. So if you're still with me now, one of the things we talked about on our previous slides is the influence of increasing mortgage rates during the year. This was in 2022 and 2023 now. So you can see that starting in January, a little above 3%, and then 6%, and then they spiked up in October. In November, they actually got a little bit above 7%. But really, the increase in price dropping sellers was not really felt in the market until July and August, because if you remember, the house prices kept going up here. So the number of price dropping sellers were not there. And now as interest rates go up, this metric just goes straight up until the peak in October, came down a little bit in November and December. So we talked about previously that active listings that did not really pay attention to what was currently going on in the market and were utilizing some form of appreciation that was not applicable, they showed up in this price dropping seller basket. Now, the question we ask is, so we've kind of got an inference that repeat sales methodology indicates that the percentage gain is on a downward trend. I think that's fairly clear. The question now is asked, can the downward trend continue with lower inventory? So this graph here is resale listings added to the market in January in Wake, Durham, Orange, and Johnston County. Go back to 2014. So this is January of each year, and you can see we're fairly consistent between 2014 and 2020. But look what's happened in the following 1, 2, 3 years. This is not good, especially given the net inbound population growth that we have here. So January of 2023 listings added to the market, down 38% compared to the peak in January of 2020. So this is that apples to apples comparison in terms of we're looking at January all the way back to January of 2014 all the way through January of 2023. So that is when you see this downward trend in resale inventory, that's going to be a floor in terms of resale house price gain and house price metrics. All right, so let's wrap it up now. I know it's a lot for you as we're approaching the 6-minute mark. So just the facts regarding repeat sales methodology. Let's go over bullet point 1. Comparison of 2 most recent close prices. That's what the majority of what you read in the press. That's Case-Shiller does that. The HPA, the House Price Index done by the Federal Housing Finance Agency does that. Those are historical facts, and they can lag real time by 30 to 60 days, sometimes even longer than that. The next one we looked at was a comparison of current list price with most recent closing price. That really, in my opinion, is the best real-time indicator of price direction, as list prices are fluid. So I do this every month, and when list prices go down, those percentages go down. List prices go up, those percentages go up. The good news is that the repeat sales percentage gain was positive in both this bullet point and both this bullet point. And as I said before, real property ownership, and most of you that are advocates for real property ownership, I think we don't do a good enough job of advocating the wealth that can be created in those 2 examples I gave you in terms of the dollar amount of those 2 virtual owners. That's just a tremendous amount of wealth. You got to work a long time to come up with that. And then the last bullet point for me is the downward trend during the second half of 2022, in my opinion, is due solely to increasing mortgage rates. That was a big issue. The market hadn't seen anything like that in a long time. The good news is that rates decreased in January, and forward looking into 2023, all these trends, everything that you heard me talk about in this, is going to be influenced by inventory levels. So if they stay on that downward trend, that's going to be a floor for house price change, and it's going to be a floor for house price metrics. If they go up, that's going to provide some headwinds, but we certainly need the inventory. So that is all I have for now. I certainly appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. For more information on this and other topics, please go to www.tarreport.com. If you have not already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And even better, hit that old like button. The algorithm likes that, and I love thumbs up. So anyway, thanks for listening again, and we'll see you next time.